First things first, let's see President Donald Trump's post on his Truth Social. Looks like billions of dollars have been stolen at USAID and other agencies, much of it going to the fake news media as a payoff for creating good stories about the Democrats. Yeah, we have seen a lot of them in recent elections. The left wing rag known as the Politico seems to have received $8 million. Did the New York Times receive money? Well, maybe, absolutely. I don't know. Who else did? This could be the biggest scandal of them all, perhaps the biggest in the history. The Democrats can't hide from this one. Too big, too dirty. Yes, absolutely too dirty. Okay, let's watch this.
USAID awarded $2 million to strengthen trans-led organizations to deliver gender-affirming health care in Guatemala. So to each of you this morning, does this advance the interests of American citizens paying for trannies in Guatemala to the tune of
Not at
$2 million?
all.
Yes or no? Governor?
I have no position.
Oh,
Of course you don't. Okay, USAID awarded over $750,000 to fund alleviating loneliness among migrant garment workers in India. Does this advance
whoa, whoa, whoa,
America's
whoa.
interests, Governor?
No.
What?
I have no position.
USAID awarded $1.5 million for providing a gender-sensitive response to migration at the Venezuelan border. Does this advance America's interests, Governor?
No.
No, I have no position.
No position.
Does this advance the interest? Okay, so USAID awarded $4.3 million on October 1st, 2023 to a group to fund comprehensive health services for men having sex with other men in South Africa. Does this advance the interests of American citizens?
Men having sex with other men, and for that the USAID is providing aid of $4.3 million. Well, dear taxpayers of the USA, mm, your money is wasted. I'm sorry, but this is what it is.
Citizens, Governor.
No.
No,
No position at all. They can't have any position at all.
I bet you don't. Okay. USAID awarded $1.5 million to advance diversity, equity, and inclusion in Serbia's workplaces and business communities by promoting economic empowerment and opportunity for LGBTQI plus people in Serbia. Does this advance America's interests?
No.
no. Nope.
You have no idea, right? Okay.
Yeah, they don't have any idea. Now let's see when it all started. The first post has made a very good post on YouTube, or the YouTube video. Let's see.
And it all began with Elon Musk's cost-cutting crusade. Tasked by President Donald Trump, Musk claimed USAID was a criminal organization. He accused it of wasting taxpayers' money, addressing them to be Viper's nest of radical left Marxists who hate America. And working on making the president's buddy happy, the Trump administration moved swiftly to freeze billions in foreign aid.
It's something that should have been done a long time ago. Went crazy during the Biden administration. They went totally crazy what they were doing, and the money they were giving to people that shouldn't be getting it, and to agencies and others that shouldn't be getting it, was a shame. So they're tremendous fraud. But we'll be doing a report. We'll be giving you that report at the appropriate time.
The list of alleged spending shocked many. $50 million for condoms in Gaza.
Wait. $50 million for condoms. And where? In Gaza. $50 million for condoms. As president said, they went crazy. Literally crazy. Let's see other US aids.
$1.5 million to promote diversity in Serbia, $47,000 on a transgender opera in Colombia, $32,000 for a transgender comic book in Peru.
$32,000 for a transgender comic book. Well, in coming futures, we might see, transgender Superman or transgender Spider-Man or maybe an Iron Man like a transgender. I mean, woo, 2 million for sex change practices in Guatemala. Does this have anything to do with the American interests or American citizens or the honest taxpayers of the United States of America? It doesn't make any sense at all. And whoa.
$2 million for sex change practices in Guatemala, $1.5 million to promote LGBTQ+ in Jamaica, $5.5 million for gender activism in Uganda, $6.3 million for men who have sex with men in South Africa, and $600,000
6.3 million for men who have sex with men in South Africa. $6.3 million to have sex with another man. It doesn't make any sense at all.
for family planning in Latin America. White House Press Secretary Caroline Levitt
I
pulled no
like
punches.
this lady.
The White House Press Secretary pulled no punches. The American people deserve better, she said.
Yeah,
These
she's
are some
beautiful.
of the insane priorities that organization has been spending money on. $1.5 million to advance DEI in Serbia's workplaces, $70,000 for a production of a DEI musical in Ireland.
Okay. Some few $1,000s like for for the production of comic books, transgender comic books, $70,000 for DEI musical. So comic books and then the music. What is next? A movie or a web series maybe on the Netflix or Amazon Prime. Yeah, good going.
47,000 for a transgender opera in
Opera. Transgender comic book. Diversity, equity and inclusion production. Again, whatever F word. And then a transgender opera in Colombia.
Colombia, $32,000 for a
Yeah, that is $32,000 for a comic book.
transgender comic book in Peru. I don't know about you, but as an American taxpayer,
She is giving her comments, but let's read the second last one. 2 million for sex changes and LGBT activism in Guatemala.
I want my dollars going towards this crap, and I know the American people don't either, and that's exactly what Elon Musk has been tasked by President Trump to do.
In fiscal
Yeah.
year 2023, USAID managed more than $40 billion in combined appropriations. And in the same year, USAID provided assistance to about 130 countries, of which the top recipients were Ukraine.
Now let's watch some sarcasm. Okay, again from the first post America.
Kimberly Classic, who is a
Kimberly.
former GOP congressional nominee taking a dig at suffering countries, said, "It is time America will step back from being a sugar daddy for other countries."
Yeah, that is an appropriate word in such scenarios. Being a sugar daddy. Let's see.
MAGA Representative Mike Collins, taking a jab at US aid expenditures, joked that he got laid off and was in charge of making the Taliban trance.
Americans lost thousands and thousands of patriotic American soldiers on the Afghanistan's land, and now US aid was providing an aid to make an Taliban a trance. That's not gonna work. That's not gonna work. They will use your own money against you. They will bite you. You are feeding the snake. Stop it.
Sean Hendricks, who works with Mr.
Ah,
Beast,
hi,
was
Big
also
Cheese.
not far behind to cut US aid spending down to size. He declared that the aid funding could be the single greatest government corruption story of all.
Yeah, the greatest corruption story. Yeah, I think he is right. Even President Trump said that, this is the biggest, or maybe the biggest in the history of the corruption. Well, God knows.
Time. And last but not the least, American author Ryan James Kidusky, pointing to less informed Americans, made a very valid point. He said about 99% of Americans had no idea what US aid was 30 seconds ago, and if they had known, they'd demand it be closed years ago. Now,
That is
after US
correct. Let's watch this one. This one is interesting.
And I was sold on the freedoms of America, but after 37 years here,
Immigrant
I
from
realized
Trinidad. She is an immigrant from Trinidad. And what is this earring? Doesn't look like American. Oh, anyways, immigrant from Trinidad, or maybe an alien from Trinidad. And I don't know if she is a she or he or they, them, themselves, motorcycle, scooter, airplane, whatever.
that the freedoms that I was sold on are no longer, especially within the last few days, it have been going away at warp speed. So yeah, I am prepared to leave.
Yeah,
And
please do.
I have been working with my passport because obviously a person with an accent now, you are subjected to possibly ICE wanting to know your status. So I have been working with my passport
Yeah.
because it's not the same America I have been living in the last 37 years.
Yes, please go home. Please go. Here is another one from the Emeka Gift official. US aid paid Hollywood stars to travel to Ukraine. War-torn Ukraine. Van Damme, Ben Stiller, Sean Penn, Orlando Bloom, Angelina Jolie. Whoa. In the words of Elon Musk, US aid must die. Let's see. Okay, that's Angelina Jolie. There's something seriously wrong. Watch this one. This one is interesting. This one is very interesting.
Did USAID fund coronavirus research in Wuhan, China?
We did not fund gain of function
That's not
research,
the
as
question.
you know.
The question is, did you fund coronavirus research in Wuhan, China?
Before my time, there was the PREDICT program with which
USAID funded coronavirus Oh, in Wuhan, China, that is believed to be the origin of coronavirus. I mean,
You're familiar, which ended in China in 2019.
This is a $200 million program, and the GAO has also identified that some of these grants went directly to the Wuhan Institute of Virology, where there is a suspicion that the lab leak began the pandemic. Has USAID awarded funds to the Academy of Military Medical Sciences in China?
military medicines in China.
Not to my
Just for the record, you know, China is in a surplus of $1 trillion. Whatever they are, that means they export more than they import, and they have the surplus of $1 trillion. And still, US aid was giving them a money in Wuhan, in, like, I don't know, military hospitals or whatever it is. That doesn't make any sense at all.
knowledge, but I'd have to
I think the answer is once again yes. GAO has found that there have been subawards of NIH money, as probably as well as USAID money, that went to the Academy of not just medical research, military medical research in China.
Military medical research.
Now, part of the
Weapons.
unknowns here is we can't get the records to look at this. So I've been asking for months and months for records. In September of last year, I wrote Ms. Powers of USAID a request asking for records from the PREDICT program. These are not classified. These are simply records of scientific research, and we want to read the grants to find out what they were doing and whether the research was dangerous or not. The response I got from your agency was USAID will not be providing any documents at this time.
They refuse to provide documents that where this money is being spent. American dollars, taxpayers' dollars, honest citizens' dollars, and they refuse to, just provide an info that where they are spending it. Ooh.
They're just unwilling to give documents on scientific grant proposal. We're paying for it. They're asking for $745 million more in money, and we get no response. So 2 weeks ago, the ranking member, Risch, myself, and 25 other Republican senators, unfortunately, so far, signed a letter once again. It's still no response. We're not asking for classified information. We're not asking for anything unusual. 20 million people died around the world. You're supposed to be an agency that cares about the death of people around the world. We, talk about starvation and famine, and
20 million people died due to corona.
million people died from a virus, and you won't give us the basic information about what grants you're funding around the world, who you're funding.
Look at this one. Democrats and unaccountable bureaucrats don't want Americans to know how their hard-earned tax dollars are being wasted abroad. Chairman Musk is here to set the record straight. Several egregious examples include 15 million for condoms to the Taliban through US aid. What was like 40 million for like Gaza for condoms, or 4 million, or I don't even remember now. And whoa, $446,000 to promote the expansion of atheism in Nepal through the State Department. Just for the record, Nepal was a Hindu nation. Yeah, and looks like they succeeded. They killed the religion over there. And for what? Promoting atheism? If you promote, let's say, maybe Christianity, because America is a Christian nation, but Atheism, that means you are indirectly helping the communist China. Atheism leads to the communism. You are preparing your own enemies by funding them, your own hard earned money. Amazing. Here is the one from WikiLeaks. USAID was funding over 6,200 journalists across 707 media outlets and 279 media NGOs, including 9 out of 10 media outlets in Ukraine. In Ukraine, I mean, are you? There is a war going on in there. Look at this one. US rep challenges US aid on funding to charity tied to South Asian jihadists. Well, you are funding jihadists for what? Promoting Islamic ideologies or for promoting, boom. Wow. Now watch this.
You're watching the BBC. It's Monday, the 20th of January, 2025, and there is absolutely nothing newsworthy happening in the UK. Therefore, we are going to spend the entire day focusing on the inauguration of President Trump. Now over to our US political correspondent, Sophie von Gaslight. It's a day nobody saw coming. Donald J. Trump, a convicted felon, is to be inaugurated as the 47th President of the United States.
A convicted felon. My foot.
States of America. I'm here in Washington, D.C., and for my own safety have opted to wear a red shirt and also a MAGA hat, just in case I run in.
What's wrong with MAGA hat? Make America great again. What's wrong in that? But now I bet that BBC was receiving the US aid. A British funded, the government agency or government news outlet from the Great Britain or the UK, and it was funded by the BBC. Oh, sorry, it was funded by the US aid. BBC was funded by the US aid, and that's why they are frustrated by the Donald J. Trump and of course with Elon Musk as well. Well, good luck with that. There are still 4 years to go, ladies and gentlemen. Be prepared. I'll be back with another episode of the Gems of USAID. Thank you for watching this one, and God bless America, and God bless you.